Isabella here. Today we're going to be learning about how to represent data. It's not the data from your phone. It's the kind of information that we collect in order to find a correlation between things. So today we're going to touch on listing data, frequency plots, bar graphs, data tables, and range. So let's get started. Let's begin with the data table. In the data table, we have our data well organized in two different parts. The first part is fruits, and the second part are the number of the fruits. So my data is representing how many of each fruit I have in my kitchen. So in my fruit section, we have strawberries, oranges, bananas, raspberries, kiwi fruits, and grapes. Now let's see how many of each we have. We have 15 strawberries, 5 oranges, 7 bananas, 15 raspberries, 5 kiwi fruits, and 11 grapes. Another way to represent data is by just listing it. It's very straightforward. You basically take the numbers from your data and list them in a straight line. Remember your commas, because if not, we won't know if it's all one number or different ones. And the order, it depends on how you want to put it. You can put it in the order of what your data table has, or you can put it from least to greatest, or greatest to least, basically any order, unless there's directions in the problem that tells you to do otherwise. Another way of representing data is by creating a frequency plot. In doing so, you create a graph where you record how many times a certain number is being repeated. So for example, if we go back to our data table, we see that 15 is repeated twice and 5 is as well. So when we are plotting our points on the frequency plot, we put 2 dots at the 5 and 2 dots at the 15. I have color-coded it so you can see which fruit is which. Our last example to represent data is a bar graph. A bar graph is a great way to visualize your data. So in order to make a bar graph, you create a graph with bars the size of the number that you are representing. So for strawberries, we have 15. So I will fill in my bar to the 15th mark. And then for oranges at the 5th mark, for bananas the 7th mark, raspberries 15, kiwi fruit 5, and grapes 11. But once you have represented your data in some kind of way, an important thing we have to do is find its range. And in order to find a data's range is to identify the highest number and the lowest number of your data. So for our data, our highest number is 15 and our lowest number is 5. So we have to subtract 5 from 15. Some simple math. So our answer is 10. So our range is 10. It's very simple to find the range, as you can see. So now that we know how to represent data on paper, let's try an activity where we can represent it with actual objects. So behind me, we have some cups of water with food coloring. And these cups represent the data that we've used in our past examples. So let's identify which one is which. Here, we have our 6 fruits. We have strawberries, oranges, bananas, raspberries, kiwi fruit, and grapes. Let's have a closer look to see how many there are. So here, at the strawberries, we have 15, so we have filled the cup to the top. Here, we have the 5 oranges. So since there are only 5, we filled it up just a little bit. And here, at the bananas, we have 7. So we filled it up a little bit higher than the oranges. And here we have the raspberries. The raspberries was also 15, so we filled it up to the top. And here we have the kiwi fruit, which was also 5 like the oranges. And here we have grapes. Grapes was 11, so it's almost to the top, but not quite. So here is our 3D version of our bar graph. But instead of bars, we have cups of water with food coloring. Feel free to try this at home. It's a fun way to represent data with home objects. So in this class, we have learned how to represent data on paper and with real objects. Now, I want to challenge you guys to come up with a creative way on how to represent data at home. Thanks for watching.